In this video we are going to do the simple titration experiment and we will be using these two chemicals for the titration. We'll be using hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Hydrochloric acid will be taking into conical flask. Sodium hydroxide we are going to fill in the burette, and we will be using the indicator, that's methyl orange. Okay, so first of all we will be taking the burette and we are going to wash it with water. After washing it with water, we will be washing it with the chemical which we are going to fill in this. So we are going to fill this burette with sodium hydroxide. So the second time I'm going to rinse it with sodium hydroxide, and for the precaution again I'm going to fill it by using the filter funnel, or I can directly fill the burette. This is how I am going to rinse the burette, and I am going to throw away my washings. After washing, first with distilled water, second with the chemical, I am going to fill it in. I am going to now fill it with the chemical with which I will be performing the titration, that is sodium hydroxide. So I am using the filter funnel to fill it properly so that the chemical doesn't drop down. We have to make sure that the chemical, it comes till the tip of the burette. So I'm going to drop some of it down in the sink so that the tip also has the chemical in it. Pipette will be washing it with the distilled water, and again the chemical which we are going to fill it in. Using the pipette filler, I'm going to fill in the chemical into the pipette up till the mark, because the pipette is a apparatus used for accurate fixed volumes. So up till the mark, if I'm going to fill it up, I have a fixed accurate volume of the chemical, which is basically my hydrochloric acid. So hydrochloric acid I'm going to now pour into the conical flask in which I will be performing my टाइट्रेशन एक्सपेरिमेंट, जिसमें मैं अपना NaOH को ड्रॉप करूँगी. और उससे पहले what I'll be doing is, because both the chemicals are colorless in nature, they both are colorless, so I will be adding indicator. Now that is all I have to do with the pipette, just to drop the last drop. I'm not going to blow any air into it. Now the next point is that I'm going to add the indicator to it, and the indicator I'm going to use is methyl orange. The color of methyl orange is red in acid, and when I'll be adding in one extra drop of NaOH, it's going to turn yellow. So let's start with the titration. While dropping the chemicals, we have to ensure that the chemicals fall into the conical flask only. It should not touch the walls of the container, otherwise we will not get the accuracy. So these are some of the precautions we have to take care of. And then we are performing the experiment over the wild tile, so that even the slightest color change is observed. So after a certain volume of NaOH being dropped into the conical flask, the chemical in the conical flask, which was HCl, now turned into a yellow solution. So that is going to be your color change whenever we use methyl orange and we have the NaOH in the burette and HCl into the conical flask. So the color change is basically, this was red we had when we had methyl orange in the conical flask which has HCl, and as soon as you have an excess of NaOH into the conical flask while performing the neutralization, it turns from red to yellow, right? So the color change when you will be having the neutralization reaction where you have NaOH in the burette and HCl in the conical flask, the color change is from red to yellow. Okay, and the same color change will be reversed if you have NaOH in the conical flask and HCl in the burette.